An iconic vista in Taos County, New Mexico, the Rio Grande Gorge Bridge, located on US 64, was designed and built by the state's highway department in the early 1960s. At 1,272 feet long and 650 feet above the Rio Grande Gorge River, this historic structure is the seventh tallest bridge in the United States. It is attractively positioned across the gorge and complements its surroundings. Within a year of opening, the bridge was awarded first place for beauty in steel bridges by the American Institute of Steel Bridges, and by the late 1990s was listed on the State Register of Cultural Properties and included in the National Register of Historic Places. While the historic bridge holds beauty, recognition, and significance, 44 suicides between 1991 and 2017 have occurred at the bridge, with 80% involving New Mexico residents, according to the New Mexico Office of Medical Investigators. To provide a broader view of the suicide rates in New Mexico, the suicide rate statewide is consistently 1% higher than the national suicide rate. In the last decade, statewide suicides have totaled 4,235, of which 113 occurred in Taos County and 22 at the bridge. Safety of the public remains a top priority for New Mexico Department of Transportation. Balancing the need to improve bridge safety while preserving an important piece of history as well as the structural integrity of the bridge has driven the need to conduct a feasibility study that identifies bridge enhancement options to deter future suicide attempts. Initial studies from 2009 and 2015 identified several alternatives consisting of netting systems and different types of railings. Alternatives identified as having significant impacts to the bridge's structural integrity, visual resources, safety, and/or historic integrity were eliminated from further study. Other considerations included community input, engineering feasibility, constructability, maintenance, inspection access, and cost. 3 feasible alternatives were carried forward into the current study: the vertical railing alternative, the horizontal net alternative, and the no-build alternative. The current study evaluates the structural feasibility of adding a rail or net system to the existing structure as well as future improvements to maintain the existing bridge associated with the no-build alternative. The 8-foot 3-inch high vertical railing alternative would replace the existing pedestrian rail. The horizontal net alternative would be installed approximately 15 feet below the existing railing and extend out 15 feet from the edge of the bridge. Specific details such as the type of railing or netting, colors, and type of material will be determined at a later time should an alternative move forward into design. To determine impacts, the study analyzed existing bridge conditions and evaluated each alternative for constructability, maintenance, inspection access, structural feasibility, and cost. Environmental factors such as impacts to historic resources, visual impacts, cultural resources, and community values were also taken into consideration. The no-build alternative would not make changes to the existing suicide deterrent system, such as the suicide hotline, and it would be anticipated that the existing occurrence of incident response and recovery would not change. The construction funding associated with this alternative would consist of continued preservation of the structural and historic integrity of the bridge, along with improvements to the bridge members that require repair or replacement. Coating of the bridge may also be necessary to extend the life of the existing structure. The vertical railing system alternative would require strengthening 16 elements of the existing bridge with an estimated cost of approximately $3.5 million for construction. It assumes that the cost for incident response and recovery could be reduced. However, cost to maintain the existing structure, new railing, and strengthen bridge members would increase. The addition of a vertical railing on the historically significant property may adversely affect the integrity and qualities of the bridge that qualify it to be listed in the National Register of Historic Places, including the viewshed that provides a wide-open perspective of the surrounding landscape and the Rio Grande Gorge. This option would also require consultation with the State Historic Preservation Officer and the Federal Highway Administration if selected to move forward. The horizontal net system alternative would require strengthening 378 elements of the existing bridge, an effort comparable to constructing a new bridge. A construction cost estimate will not be developed at this time because of the extensive effort that would be required for this alternative. Due to the location of the deterrent system, inspection access will be impacted, requiring the net to be raised, lowered, or pulled aside and then resecured for each inspection effort. It is assumed that the cost for incident response and recovery could be reduced. Costs to maintain the existing structure and new horizontal net system would increase significantly. Similar to the vertical railing system, the addition of horizontal netting on the historically significant bridge may adversely affect the historic integrity and the current viewshed looking down at the Rio Grande Gorge. This option would also require consultation with the State Historic Preservation Officer and the Federal Highway Administration if selected to move forward. A comparison of all three alternatives resulted in both the vertical railing alternative and horizontal net alternative introducing greater impacts to the existing bridge and future maintenance cost than the no-build alternative. Of the build alternatives, the horizontal net would require more significant and costly modifications to the bridge than the vertical railing alternative. Therefore, it was eliminated from consideration. As such, the no-build alternative and vertical railing alternative will continue to be viable options under consideration. Ultimately, historic preservation, environmental effects, and public input will continue to play a major role in the decision-making process. Given the overlapping considerations of historic significance, environmental impacts, structural functionality, and community values, the DOT encourages ongoing public engagement and input into the study. Your comments will be taken at this meeting or through the website. Once complete, the study will be available to inform further discussions within the regional planning process and for potential inclusion in the State Transportation Improvement Plan for funding next steps. To stay engaged and sign up for email updates, please visit riograndegorgebridgestudy.com.